February 19, 2012.
Good evening, I'm Terry Moran, and we begin tonight with a story at the white-hot intersection of presidential politics, private lives, and character. Former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich is surging in South Carolina, where voters go to the polls Saturday. Gingrich has been in the public eye for decades, and he's had a complicated private life. He's spoken openly about that life on the campaign trail, admitted wrongdoing, has said he's sought forgiveness and reconciliation. His two ex-wives have stayed quiet on the sidelines. Tonight, ABC's Brian Ross investigates. Brian?
Terry, tonight one of them is breaking her silence. His second wife, Marianne, saying she does not believe Gingrich has the moral character necessary to be president. Marianne Gingrich was married to Newt for 18 years when he asked her for a divorce.
It started with a phone call at my mother's house, and he asked for a divorce. And
on the phone?
On the phone. And he said, I want a divorce. I said, is there somebody else? And it was quiet. And I knew.
Now, 12 years later, Marianne Gingrich is talking on television for the first time. A kind of January surprise for her ex-husband as he faces a crucial presidential primary in South Carolina this Saturday.
If he's running for president, he has answers to give.
You know his secrets. You know his skeletons.
I know some of them.
Gingrich is now married to that somebody else, the other woman, Callista, a devout Catholic who has claimed she was Newt's mistress for some 6 years while he was still married to Marianne.
I found out during our conversations that it was occurring in my bedroom in our apartment in Washington. And he always called me at night. He always ended with, I love you. Well, she was there listening.
Right next to him.
In my home.
Washington is a place full of two-timing politicians with a long trail of sordid affairs, ugly divorces, and hypocrisy.
For our family.
As Speaker of the House, in the middle of his own secret affair with Callista, Gingrich was calling for the impeachment of President Bill Clinton for lying about his affair with Monica Lewinsky.
There is no administration in American history with less moral authority than the Clinton-Gore administration.
And now, as a candidate for president, Gingrich regularly expounds on family values and the sanctity of marriage between a man and a woman.
And it's something worth protecting and upholding.
But he has also freely admitted to his moral failures.
I've said up front openly, I've made mistakes at times. I've had to go to God for forgiveness. I've had to seek reconciliation.
Marianne says Gingrich has never asked her for forgiveness, and that when first seeking a divorce, Newt actually asked her for an arrangement under which he could have both a wife and a mistress.
I said to him, Newt, we've been married a long time. And he said, yes, but you want me all to yourself. Callista doesn't care what I do.
What was he saying to you, you think?
He was asking to have an open marriage, and I refused.
He wanted an open marriage?
Yeah, that I accept the fact that he has somebody else in his life.
And you said?
No. No. That is not a marriage.
Gingrich asked for a divorce from his first wife, Jackie, while she was being treated for cancer. He sought to divorce Marianne, she says, months after she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS. Did he know you had MS?
Yes.
When he asked you for a divorce?
Yes, and he also was advised by the doctor when I was sitting there that I was not to be under stress. He knew.
During tonight's CNN debate in South Carolina, the first question of the evening was about the open marriage allegations, and Gingrich annually denied them to cheers from the audience.
You chose to start the debate with it. Don't try to blame somebody else. You and your staff chose to start this debate with it. Now, let me be quite clear. The story is false. Every personal friend I have who knew us in that period says the story was false.
Earlier, the campaign also made available his two daughters from his first marriage.
The truth, Brian, is that our father and Marianne had a difficult marriage. They had a difficult divorce. She's unhappy, and this has been over for over a decade. He's a much different person than he was then. He's grown. He's gotten closer to God. His faith in God has grown. And I think what people need to remember is this happened a very long time ago. And we wish Marianne no ill will. We wish her the very best. But it happened a long time ago.
Marianne Gingrich says she does have many fond memories of Newt, holding hands on the mall, hiking the mountains, dressing up on Halloween, a time when she says they were without power or much money.
Did that create a desire to get rich?
I think we always talked that money would come when he left Congress.
Will the gentleman from Georgia please raise his right hand?
But while still in Congress, as Gingrich became Speaker of the House, they traveled the world, even as he and she were caught up in several ethics investigations. On this issue, Marianne defends her ex-husband.
Is he an ethical man?
At the time, I believed him to be ethical.
Marianne herself became the subject of an FBI sting investigation after meeting in Paris with a notorious arms dealer who was working as an undercover government source. The investigation was ultimately dropped, but a 1997 FBI document obtained by ABC News says Gingrich told the source that she was in a position to get things done in Congress and asked for $500,000 for herself up front as part of an alleged $10 million bribe to buy influence with her husband, the Speaker of the House.
This is all made up, fabricated, hogwash. This is a convicted felon talking with people that have nothing to do with me.
But you met with him.
I did meet with him.
It would cost $10 million to get the job done. Did you ever try to sell your husband's position?
Heavens, no.
Newt Gingrich lost his power as Speaker of the House and resigned from Congress in 1998. A year later, he asked for a divorce and, says Marianne, began to plan his campaign to run for president with Callista by his side, who is probably best known in this campaign for the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry Gingrich bought for her at Tiffany's.
He did tell me once that she was going to help him become president.
What was your reaction to that?
Didn't look like help to me.
We asked the Gingrich campaign if he would appear tonight in our report, but they declined to make him available. Following Gingrich's strong denial tonight of the open marriage allegations, I checked back with his ex-wife, Marianne, who told me by phone she stands by her story. My story is the truth, she told me. If he had really changed, he could have stepped up tonight and said he was sorry, but he never has. So that is her reaction tonight, Terry.
And a tough one it is, Brian. And as you know, this story has sparked a lot of controversy. And tonight at that CNN debate in South Carolina, Newt Gingrich spoke out passionately about the whole subject after moderator John King had made it the focus of his first question.
I think the destructive, vicious, negative nature of much of the news media makes it harder to govern this country, harder to attract decent people to run for public office, and I am appalled that you would begin a presidential debate on a topic like that, to take an ex-wife and make it 2 days before the primary. A significant question in a presidential campaign is as close to despicable as anything I can imagine.
So you have the story, Newt Gingrich's reaction, and the debate and campaign continue. Brian Ross, thanks very much for that. We're going to take a break still ahead. Passengers